Who? Who that? It's on mute, probably.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, who's that?
Mike.
Hey, Mike, what's up, bro?
Yo, brother. I'm just driving back to the gym right now, so I'm on my iPhone, so I fucking hate this thing, so I'm gonna get on my laptop.
All right. I'm just,
It's actually nice in New Jersey today. It's 71, so.
yeah. My parents still live up there.
Yeah, where?
Bound Brook area, New Brunswick.
Oh, cool.
That's where I grew up, man. I grew up in Bound Brook, Manville area, right around New Brunswick.
That's south.
Yeah, it's like central, like Plainfield, not far from Newark. I know you're north. How far from Hackensack are you?
Not about
He
20
said
minutes.
hacking.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes. I'm close to Tappan Zee Bridge.
Okay.
So that is, not far away from the water. That's-
All right. He said he's pulling into his building. So where's Gil? Is Gil on, or is he gonna join, or is he busy Is he busy sharpening? He's probably busy sharpening his fucking sword. That's what you were gonna say, right?
yeah, that was fun. I wonder if he's going to bring Texas.
Dude, what is that noise? Is that you, Mike? What the fuck you doing? Wrestling some midgets or something? Getting your ass kicked? It's probably one of those fucking Canadians with a thong wrestling him for his phone, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to the I got an invite to go down to Miami for some huge seminar, man. It's supposed to be mind-boggling. It's supposed to be life-changing.
With who?
Your buddy Patty.
Oh, yeah. I think I got him involved too, but no. Thank you.
You guys were all part of that group, huh?
For a while.
Yeah.
I've wasted like 3-4 years with him.
I've talked to some gyms that claim they almost went out of business trying to follow that fucking pattern.
A lot of gyms.
Who? Do you say who?
Yeah, Mad Lab?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here's like, you can fucking do anything you want. If it doesn't work, you gotta do something else.
Yeah. Well,
If it
that's
works, you keep doing it.
well, that's the obvious, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's fucking all these, everybody, you know, oh, it's like, oh, you should do keto. No, you should do paleo.
Yeah.
No, you should do IF.
Hey, Larry, all those leads, are you guys doing it as free? Are you advertising it as free? Okay.
What's your lead cost right now? Oh, that's cool.
Jesus.
That's good. I'm actually doing right now pretty good too. I just started a couple of new ads. I'm running at about $5-6 a lead, roughly.
I'm at 30. I'm at $30 a lead.
Yeah, I had times where I was $20 a lead, and I was still taking those. Like I totally kept the ads.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm joining on my laptop, and I'm gonna get off the phone.
That's smart. You know the thing is, what's up, Ryan?
I gotta end it.
Here comes Ryan.
I gotta end it.
Well, end it.
Well, how the fuck do I do that?
I don't know. Just turn your phone to mute.
I'm gonna put him on mute. There you go.
All right, you can leave it on, Mike. What's going on, Ryan?
What's up, man?
None. We figured we would try to pick the brain of the master of HTP to try to figure out the secret sauce on how successful you've been with it, and because I'm ready to start running it.
Wait.
So
Send me some questions.
I don't know where Gil is. Gil was supposed to be a part of this. Anybody got his cell phone or anything to text him?
I do all text.
Yeah, tell him to jump.
I
I don't know.
On my camera, and there must be some glue on there.
I don't know. It looks perfect to me. You look awesome, man. A big improvement. Got a little handsome, more handsome. Thumbs up to you too, bro. Is that what you just did?
Yeah.
So anyway,
Trying to clean my camera.
all right. So I don't want to take up a lot of Ryan's time because I know he's busy. So you guys got some questions you want to start throwing at him, and
I don't even know why I'm on this meeting.
it's for HTP, you dumb dick. The fuck's wrong with you? Disconnect Mike. So Ryan, did you have like a dedicated salesperson that was actually doing the HTP for you, or how did that work?
No, the first two high ticket things I ran, I didn't even have a salesperson on staff. It was just me telling them. But I just hired a sales guy like 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Wow.
So we have him just do HCP, the sales guy.
Say that again.
You only do HCP at this point, or
No, I do 6 week stuff still, but not a ton of it. Basically, my average membership right now is like $375 to $500. So everything we do would probably be considered high ticket compared to what most people are charging. But I still do 6 weeks. I just structure them a little bit differently. That's all.
Yeah. Hey Mike, mute yourself. You're making so much fucking noise. Ryan, is your gym set up more for like personalized training, or I don't really know what your gym looks like. I mean, is it more do you come more from a personalized training? Because all of us we're CrossFit gyms. Obviously the CrossFit brand, it's a group thing. But like my gym, I got tons of machines. I got leg press machine. I got all that shit. It's like a sports, performance type of place. But it seems like CrossFit is the big draw to my gym, or at least it was. I'm trying to switch to more one-on-one or small group. Now you're a performance facility, so are you more geared towards one-on-ones or small group more than you are for the larger group?
Are you guys familiar with like Mike Boyle's facility or Eric Cressy's facility?
Yeah, I know Eric Cressy. Yeah.
Yeah. So my facility is very similar to both of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't do a ton of one-on-one training, or I'll put it this way: I didn't start the business doing one-on-one training, but my facility is built like it's just built like a sports performance place. So there's a ton of turf. It's not. We have very similar equipment to what a CrossFit gym would have. It's just cleaner.
Okay.
Say.
Yeah.
So.
Cleaner than theirs, not mine.
But we've done one-on-one and small group, and then group since the day we were open. So,
yeah.
It was the reason I really kind of joined Legacy or started working with Alex in March of 2017 was because I was working with really high-end athletes, and we got really good results, and I have a very good reputation in that aspect, but I didn't know how to get anybody to my door. So, facility was making $35,000 a month, and I only had $5,000 in overhead. So, but I only had like 80 people in the gym.
Yeah.
So, it's easy for me to sell things that are high ticket for stuff because of my reputation out here, and then secondly because I've got 150 jerseys that are signed hanging up in my gym. And people walk in and they're like, "Oh, you know, did Davian Clowney train here, or Von Miller's been through here, or all these people?" So it's, I don't know. I also limit my class. My largest class size is 15. I never go anymore. So, but I use that as a marketing aspect to keep my prices high.
Yeah. What's your average client? Like, are you getting athletes like sports performance type people, or are you getting like regular people that want to get in shape? I mean, who would you say, like, your high ticket that you're advertising for? Is that drawing in just like your normal everyday person that just wants to get fit, or are you seeing a lot of, I'm sure it's a mix, but I'm saying, like, what are you seeing mainly?
We're like 30% athletes, 70% normal people.
Okay, yeah.
So, but the athletes we work with pay a shitload of money.
Yeah. Well, they have it, man.
So,
They have it.
right. But yeah, outside of that, it's mostly just people trying to lose weight or get in shape, or who are injured and need help with injuries and things like that.
What's your background as far as your training credentials?
I don't know. A lot. I've got
Yeah.
Sports physiology and physical therapy school is where it started. So,
Yeah.
But mostly I've done like 40 or 50 seminars and workshops, and I used to teach the Strong Fist Kettlebell workshop, and I used to teach USAW, and I used to teach workshops to other coaches. So,
Yeah.
but it was really just because I spent 3 years with Mike Boyle, and I spent a total of 3 years with Mike Boyle and Eric Cressy,
Yeah.
and I spent another year with Brett Bartholomew at Exos, and was just exposed to ridiculously high level training.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
I was just having a conversation with Alex about it yesterday, that the biggest thing that I've seen with retention is just the fact that what we do is better than what everybody else is doing.
Yes.
So it's not just a hard workout, but nobody ever gets injured.
Yeah.
Everybody always feels better. There's lots of little things, but it's really hard to monetize that.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to package that and give it to all you guys without having you come out here and like shadow me for a week.
Yeah.
Or
You
like
can't. You can't. You got to do an internship to actually get a legit. I get it, and that's the problem with a lot of it's and listen, I'm not bashing CrossFit. I mean, at least they fucking do where you go out there and you're actually hands on, or you're getting somebody actually showing you the movements. Where somebody's search, you're just doing a fucking written test. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. So I'm just going to start doing HTP, because I'm not going to lie to you. Like with me, and I know you guys want to ask some questions too, but with me out here, the 6-week challenge, it's just not working for us. We've been doing it for 2.5 years. We're getting a trickle here and there, but there's like 5 or 6 gyms running the same exact ads as me in my area. So I just turned on HTP last night, and I've been getting leads like ridiculous. So I just wanted you, if it's cool, just kind of walk me through how you do it. I mean, do you do it a different way than what Alex is saying? Because, I mean, right now they fill out the WooFoo form. Now they're expecting me to give them a call. Do you give prices over the phone? Do you try to sell them over the phone? Are you trying to get somebody to set them, put down a deposit so Steve will meet with you because his time's valuable and you get your money back when you show up, so to speak? Is that what you're doing?
I use a setter. I don't talk about money on the phone ever.
Okay.
And my setter uses the same line every time. He just says, "This program is highly individualized, and the price will be dependent on what your needs are."
Perfect. Okay.
So he just says, he basically said, "I'm not qualified to give you that answer, so I'm just not going to, because I don't want to give you something and it be wrong."
Yeah.
But the setter does, like, I will say, when it comes to the high ticket, the setter is everything.
Yeah.
everything. So my wife does settings for me, and my GM, who I've basically mentored for 4 years, does that setting for me.
Is that a male or a female? Your
Basic-
GM.
Male.
Okay.
So I have my wife call female leads, and I have him call male leads.
Okay.
The setter is everything, honestly, because they should position you so high that when people come in, they're just like their decision's already made. You just have to tell them how much it costs and when they show up.
Okay.
So Ryan, I got a question. I mean, I have no problem. I've sold high tickets before GL. I've done quite a lot with professional athletes and just normal people. I have no problem selling that. And I've had zero interest in like over a decade now. And I'm pretty much familiar with Mike and Eric and all that. Done a lot of OPT stuff with Steve Fitzgerald. I don't know if you know the other guys, but the question is, and I'm losing right now. Well, first of all, do you still do any training yourself, coaching?
Rarely. I usually only with people now who are. There's a orthopedic clinic out here called the Stedman Clinic in Vail, and it's like I think the most highly sought after orthopedic surgery center in the country. And I do work with some of their post-op athletes.
Yeah.
So like I just had a skier who had ACL MCL replacement, and I just did 16 weeks with him, getting him back to this shape. But I just signed a kid who's going to go to the 2020 Olympics for discus, and I'll work with him. I just train people now for fun. I don't do a lot of coaching anymore.
But so where do you get your coaches and how do you train them? That's my question.
So that's probably something that I'm more patient with than most people. I usually get all of my coaches from the universities around here because they have to do 400 to 600 hours of interning. So they have to do that just to complete their degree. And I just met with the university and I said, put my gym name at the top of the list. Here are my credentials. And I just get a ton of interns from CSU and UNC, which are right by me.
Is that interns for physical therapists?
No, just for exercise science.
Okay, I got you.
Well, what's your process of working with them? Do you have your own apprenticeship program or how does it work?
Yeah, so I've got an internship program that is 6 months, and it teaches them everything from teaching movement to how to communicate with people, how to problem solve common injuries, all kinds of stuff.
Is that like a handbook or something? I mean, do you have that all like in writing?
Yep.
All right. Do you mind sharing that, or Mike will give you like $1,000 for it if you want, and he'll
But here's the question.
I'd be happy to talk about setting some. It took me like, I honestly want to say
your lifetime to develop that. I'm sure.
Yeah, 6,000 or 7,000 hours to put together. So
that's probably something that's a lot of value to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be happy to share it. I just have to figure out what I'd be willing to share it for. But
yeah,
nothing in there is like so proprietary that it's
No, I'm in the methods is great. I'm really interested in that as well. But I'm more interested in like do you have like a clear cut way of how do you actually determine who makes the cut and who doesn't?
Yeah. And I'm pretty black and white with it. I'm just I just tell people that the internships are competitive, and they have to fit a certain personality type. They have to fit a certain work ethic. They have to show me that they're willing to be self-directed, all kinds of stuff. And then from there, at the end of their intern hours that are required from the university, I either offer them a job or I tell them that they're just not a fit.
So that's my question. Like, do you use some sort of structural way of or is it just basically making the determination like, okay, this guy doesn't fit, this guy does, and what is it made on? Like, what, do you have some sort of profiling that you do with them, or is that? I'll tell you why I'm asking. I kind of suck in years and over a decade. I've hired like people that I shouldn't have hired. I kind of suck badly. I just tell you right away. And right now, I have a couple of guys, one guy, one girl that are pretty good, right? But I'm struggling with like what's the best way. I think I'm not very good at figuring out in the beginning who would actually have the right intentions, the right attitude. Not even the knowledge. I'm not talking about knowledge. Like knowledge-wise, it's a different thing. I'm talking about like just general, like would they work longer term from you or not?
Right. So I do evaluations monthly.
How?
So I structure it like, let me see if I can bring up my evaluation note. So I go over the coaching aspect for me doesn't really matter that much because I can teach that. So I go over the things that energy, communication, levels of confidence, congratulatory efforts, personal connections made, stepping outside of their comfort, boundaries, and then I go into some other stuff like general energy, how well they communicate, how clear they communicate, how well they follow my standard operating procedures, areas in which they display dominance, areas in which need to be improved. So I don't worry too much about the coaching thing. I mean, one of my best coaches had no experience at all. She just learned and she was patient. So, but personality dynamic, I've hired a lot of bad people too. So
Yeah. Well, we all have. Yeah.
I would say personality dynamic, and the fact that they fit your culture matters more than anything else. So, and I've never hired internally. Like I see people a lot hire people that used to be for me because it's just the gossip to people remember while they work for me. So, but I assess all those things. I get it. I do a lot of my stuff from like when it comes to coaching dynamic. I learn most of this stuff from psychology books. So I'll read like books on emotional intelligence and how to improve that and things like that. So it really for me is not coaching. For me is more counseling than coaching. So if you can teach somebody how to counsel somebody who's in need, they'll usually be a phenomenal employee, and the people that they're working with will stay longer.
Yeah. I don't know if you can read the chats. I didn't want to interrupt you when you're talking, but I just kind of typed some questions. Are you paying your interns? How does that work? And if so, like what is a ballpark figure that you pay them?
I don't, because they're recorded, or they're required to do it through school.
I got
so
you.
I don't have to.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So getting back to the main purpose of this entire call, now with your HTP, does your setter require them to put down a credit card, to put down a deposit when they make their appointment, to make sure they show up, or do you just not bother with that?
Yes, but I don't push it.
Right.
So I usually have them ask one time. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I need you to put a deposit down for the meeting. And if they're like, no fucking way am I putting a deposit down for the meeting over the phone,
Yeah.
then my setter literally uses the same script every time. He says, let me see if I can get Ryan to waive it. Sometimes he's in a good mood and he'll waive it.
Okay.
And he just puts them on hold for 30 seconds and then comes back and says, yeah, he'll waive it. But if you don't show up or if you change your appointment, you lose your spot.
Yeah. I got you. How, like, what do you think? Is it like a 50-50 shot they're going to show up at that time, or you been having better luck?
HTTP meetings show up for way better.
Yeah.
It's depending on your setter, but it's usually like, I think my show up rate was like 85 to 90%.
Now, are you targeting higher dollar? Does that even work though, man? Like, I know you can kind of target like people with higher incomes on Facebook. I kind of question like if that even really is accurate. Are you setting it up that way?
You
You
can.
know?
It's just to make your lead costs go up a little bit. But
Yeah.
to be quite frank, like I'm selling high ticket for $4,500. So if I pay $500 for a lead, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I've never paid that. The highest CPM that I ever got for high ticket was like $82.
Yeah. Right now, I think mine is about $6. It's just blowing up because I don't think anybody's done it down here. And
Right.
my 6-week challenge is like $30, 35. That's why I'm just gonna switch over. Is it a 3-day-a-week program, or is it vary?
I do 3.
3 days. What do you at? Do you include anything like a scan or anything like that? By the way, that Fit 3D scan is fucking awesome, bro. It really is.
Did you?
I got it. Yeah, I got it for $5,000. It's pretty cool. Members are they're loving it.
I don't really do much like that. I offer them the option to get a discounted DEXA scan at Colorado State University, but no.
Yeah. Are you including nutrition guidance with the high ticket?
Yeah, so the thing that I have that a lot of people don't have is a registered dietitian on staff. So my high ticket people get to work with the dietitian.
What else do you get? What else do they get besides the one-on-ones? And before I forget, is it one-on-one, or is it like up to 3 or 4 per group?
Up to 3.
Okay.
No more than 3 though. But they do. They get like a T-shirt. People who do high ticket during their 12 weeks, they get free access to my classes. And then I do like a retreat type thing at the end.
So they get access to unlimited access to your regular group class.
Yeah, but they only people only come like once or twice because they're a week. They're just like in the sessions that they're doing, they're toast. So
I got you.
if you offer them free classes on top of it, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And
So-
and they come in 12 weeks. They may come to 18, which is I don't really care about that. That's not a loss to me, you know. So they're paying so much as it is.
How do you pay your registered dietitian? Is he on staff or she?
She's a contractor,
Deem.
so she basically contracts through her own business, and she gets paid per consult. So I pay her. If I remember, I think it's $120 per consult, and then after that, it's like it's like $10 a food log. So for each person that does a 12-week, it's $240 total because they report a food log every week. $10 per food log for 12 weeks, 120, and then 120 consults, so $240 per person. This last one, I had 73 people, so it was a lot.
Are you
73 in one shot?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good for her.
Are you seeing the high ticket people like do their 12 weeks and then stick with that, or switch over to like your group classes, or a combination of both?
Combination of both, but I've got like 68% of them sign up for 12 weeks repetitively.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Do you have any recordings of your like your interview when they come in? Do you have like
I could. I'll have to see on my computer. But if not, I've got them. People come in all the time. So I can show them.
yeah.
Hey, Ryan, one thing jumped up for you. I think somebody's scratching on something. You said you had up to 3 people in a group, and you had 73 people
Yeah.
last time. So I don't know. That's my math is right. That's like 24 groups.
Yeah.
And so those are 3 times a week, right?
Yep.
So that's 72 sessions per week, right? For 12
Yep.
weeks. How many coaches do you have again?
11.
What's that?
11.
Okay, yeah. So what's that? Hours. And are these interns doing the high ticket, or
No.
are these full-time coaches?
Yeah, they're coaches. 15 to 30 bucks an hour, just depending on the coach.
And then how many hours a week are they doing that? Does the same coach stay with the same group, or is it whatever coach is on duty at whatever time that group shows up?
I usually place certain groups with certain coaches, and they stay with that coach the whole time. If you change the coaches on them, it feels impersonal.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
No, that makes
so
sense.
the coach, I'm sorry, just to make sure I'm clear. The coach gets 15 to 35 bucks an hour.
Yeah.
30 bucks an hour. Not per person.
No, per session.
Do you pay them more if there's more people in the group, or
Nope.
no?
Nope.
Wow. Where the hell are you exactly?
Colorado.
Oh wow, wow, that's awesome. I'm like by New York City. Nobody wants to move a finger here for 15 bucks.
Yeah, my coaches are bitching, man.
It's
I don't mind paying them. I just want to get people in. Yeah.
So when we're talking about high ticket, right, and you're marketing this, and that's why you're in Gym Watch, right, to use the marketing techniques. And obviously, there's a different play for that. Talk to them on the phone, get the sale, bring them in, and then you assign them to the coach. So the bandwidth here that you require is having 11 coaches to do what you're doing, right? I mean, like if I have 11 coaches, I can do 10 times more people in coaches, right? Or high ticket or whatever. So the bandwidth here is the sticking point for pretty much everybody, because if I have 11 coaches, I can just spend more money on marketing.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I've seen people run high ticket who have more coaches than me, and they only sign 8 people.
Yeah.
You know.
You're afraid to ask for money,
But
right?
I guess the other way around. I'm not sure if that's your question, Mike, but when you were starting by yourself, like how do you put people into different time slots? Like you would have to run all the classes yourself. It's a pain in the ass.
Right.
So my first HTP I did 40, I think 42 people or something with 3 coaches. Myself being one of them. So I'm just not afraid to work.
No, I mean I'm okay with working. I'm here from like 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
Larry's been on vacation for fucking 6 months. I don't know how he gets away with it.
I don't even know why he's on this call.
Yeah, I have no trouble with this. I'm just trying to figure out, because when you start them up, right, you tell them that you have availability of 8 hours, right?
Yeah, that's the next question is what are your time slots that work best for HTP? And how do you figure that out? Do you by the client's request, or do you have set times?
Usually by client request, and then I put people together based on skill set as well as availability.
Okay.
So I have the option now to be able to schedule people from 4 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, though. So
Yeah, because of 11 coaches, right?
Yeah, but before I basically just did it in between all my classes. So I would do, like, I had a class at 5:30 in the morning, so I did a 4:30 session, and then I did a 6:30 private session, and then a 7:30, and then a 9:30, and then a 10:30, and then I would just fill every time slot.
Wow.
Do you ever have HTP going at the same time as your group class?
Now I do it all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a ton of
One big open space, right?
I've got a ton of space.
How big
so
is your place, bro?
the one that I'm sitting in right now that we're almost done with is a little bit shy of 15.
Yeah, okay.
15,000.
Yeah.
What's
Is it big numbers for rent out there where you're at?
No.
No, really? Fucking A.
I pay $650 a square foot for 13,000 square feet. Standalone.
Well, I'm more expensive than that, but I'm like 11.25. But mine's not warehouse, mine's retail.
Yeah.
So
Holy shit, man.
So hey,
But-
Ryan. So on that same note, like with the space, you have classes going on? Do the high ticket people train in a different area or a set aside area or a special area, or just depending on what they're doing that day, they go to a certain place where you have certain equipment or facilities stuff? How does
No,
that?
I keep them all together because it makes the people in the classes want to do high ticket.
Yeah.
Well, so that's what I mean. Do you have like a training area set aside that just for HTP? Like, you got a awesome squat rack, awesome flooring, all the equipment is new, that kind of stuff. Or
No, all the stuff in my facility is all awesome and new.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't try to make them appear more special. I just do different things in their training.
Okay.
So don't do it from do you want to train on an Alico bar or do you want to train, Rogue bar? It's more of like, do you want to learn how to do advanced kettlebell and barbell work, or do you want to keep doing what you've been doing?
right? So who does the programming for everyone? Do you let your coaches do it, or you do it yourself?
I do it all. That's the only thing that I really do.
So for everyone's separate programming.
174 programs a week.
So do you use like Fitbot or you just spreadsheet?
For the privates and for my athletes, I use Fitbot, but for everybody else, I use the spreadsheet.
Wait, everybody else you mean HTTP?
No, just like all the classes and
Okay. But for HTTP people, you use Fitbot, right?
correct.
And they get access to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ryan, go ahead.
Sorry, just one little thing. If they're traveling, right? What do you do then? Do you give them some sort of workouts to do when they're traveling, or?
No, I just tell them that we make up their travel time at the end. Nobody follows shit when they're traveling.
Nah, that's a fucking deload, man. I don't fucking work out when I travel. That's stupid. Fucking take some
I don't
time
work
off.
out when I stay at home, so
Yeah, I couldn't tell. You're fucking jacked, bro. You're jacked and tan.
Training together on the same program, or each of those?
Can't see shit.
Did you say that, Barry?
Are the three people that are on working out together with the same coach each on an individualized program, or is their program?
Well, he said.
Both.
Yeah. Well, he said he tries to put them all like grouped together that are in the same level, I guess.
Yeah, generally similar programming unless we need to specify for an injury or specify for something that we find in a movement screen that's wrong or something like that.
all right. So we got the idea here, like, pretty much how you're running it. Like, that's, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Now, for the marketing aspect, like Stephen was asking earlier, targeting a certain demographic. Are you using straight gym launch ad copy, or do you have something else that you use that seems to really work with the right people?
I've never done anything except for what they've given us.
You never made your own videos or anything?
Nope.
Wow. Yeah.
So I think I was the second or third person in gym launch, and everybody used to ask me what I did that was different, and I just told them that I followed the rules exactly how they were written. I didn't try to come up with anything because if I had the smarts to do that on my own, then I would own Gym Watch.
Yeah.
And save your money. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Steven needs to learn. He needs to stop fucking with that and just do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dude, they just ran all my ads for me doing all their shit.
And you're doing better now, right?
No. It's a fucking disaster. That's why I'm starting to do HTP, because I got like 8 leads in 3 days. It's, just like you said before, you got to do what's working until it's not working and change.
Yeah.
You know?
So, well, I mean, like, I'm 4 months into the challenge.
Yeah.
And so HTP is, HTP is a very easy thing for me to do here with my facility and have sports performance coaches, as well as, your typical CrossFit type coaches. But I'm wondering what the next step is. HTP or the kind of, what's that unicorn? On the phone sale to the challenge.
Dude, you need to keep doing what you're doing because it's working. And then when it
Well, I
slows
know,
down,
I'm not going to stop now, but
Yeah.
I can see that the challenge, like the ads are costing more for most people, right? And so whether that's ad fatigue or whether it's just I just need to switch it up and get a different demographic of people. So, I mean, like Ryan, obviously the sports performance facility, mine is kind of set up like that as well. I have 30 yards of turf. I have a 50 sprint track. I have Olympic weightlifting platforms, and then a separate squatting area and powerlifting type area, and then your rig, floor, gym area. And I have coaches that can do that, but sports performance around here would end up being kids, right? I mean, I have pro athletes that come by, and Cam Stewart from Alabama is here, but that's not going to be our target here in Melbourne, Florida, right? But the kids, the clubs, kids, baseball, soccer, volleyball, that stuff, I have that infrastructure here. I got a guy, a coach who's him down. He's trying to actually get that going, and I'm thinking about piggybacking this with him, the sports performance side, while I keep my challenge going. Does that make sense? Are you HCP like sports performance, or how are you getting kids, youth athletes in sports performance?
I don't market anything for athletes. Our reputation does it. Honestly, I've never spent a penny on marketing for kids.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. How do you suppose that it gets out? Like if you're working with high level athletes, just by when you say you don't market it, you mean you put pictures up of them and you have their jerseys in the gym and stuff, so the kids see that or the parents see that. Is that what you mean by mouth?
Well, we've got athletes here from 8 years old to 25. So I'll put it this way. I don't do anything to market them to get in my door. Everybody, all the athletes just usually come because they were told to come by a teammate or somebody that's had experience here.
How long have you been there?
3.5 years.
Okay, it's pretty good then. Yeah. How many other facilities like yours are around you?
2 that was started by ex-employees.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, right? Everybody's an expert.
How many?
Yeah.
How many did you say?
There's
2.
2 within 5 miles.
Yeah.
They don't touch anything that we're doing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Sounds good, Ryan.
So Ryan, just a broad statement. I'm just getting ready to kick this off. Any advice? I mean, besides the obvious of just kind of follow the program, but I mean, I know what you said. Just get a setter that's a solid setter that knows how to make me look like God. Get him in here and get in front of me. I'd love to see one of your videos of you kind of closing people when they come in. But anything that you can add or any advice as far as, what not to do or what to really emphasize on with the HTP?
I don't know. I was talking to Alex the other day about it, that I think that if people emphasize customer experience as much as they worried about ad spend and sales, then they wouldn't have to worry as much about ad spend and sales.
Yeah.
So it's 12 weeks. It's a long time to have somebody. I would just make sure that you treat them incredibly.
Yeah. So do you break it down like they can do 3 payments or they get a discounted rate and pay it all up front? Is that how you do it?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much like that. It's like
Yeah.
once a month or up front.
Okay.
So, but
What would be the three main things that you think provide your best level customer experience?
Fucking Mike, what are you testing him? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I'm asking. I mean, got him. He's customer experience, and he's good at it, obviously. And like, so what's your biggest pain? Like, what is it that you do? Handwritten cards, call them by name, giving them a T-shirt. What's the three things that you think really the client actually enjoys? Like they would say, the reason I love it here is because of these three things. Not the workouts, all that, but I can get that anywhere. But Ryan's place does this, and this, and that's why I like it.
I think that we're probably best at making people feel like they're the only person here. So I do personalized gifts. Everybody gets a card, but a card for me is like tip of the iceberg. So like I have coaches ask me, or I listen in the conversations that the members are having about a struggle they're having in life or a victory they've had in life, and I go buy them a book on it and I mail it to them with a card. It cost me $8 or $8 to $20. If you send somebody a book, they remember you forever.
Yeah.
And then I do, I would say communication, training quality, and the fact that we're incredibly available and that we know people very, very, very well. So part of the psychology behind what I teach my coaches is to not just be a coach, but to get to know somebody like you're going to know them for the rest of your life. So
That's awesome. Ryan, I just got one more question for you. Like your coaches, I know they make between 15 and 30 or 35 an hour. I mean,
Right.
Are your coaches, do you have a lot of long-term coaches that have been with you for a long time, or are they, I mean, I don't know your cost of living out there, but I mean, are they satisfied? Are they happy to stay with that? I'm not trying to say put golden handcuffs on people, but do you give them any other incentives besides that? Or do you do like outings with your coaches? Or are they just super fucking excited to be there and learn?
kind of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Is there like
I
a
just-
bonus
I just
structure or something?
want, I think I'm and teach a lot.
Yeah.
So, but I have to mount these 2 racks in my new facility.
Okay, bro. I appreciate your time,
So
man.
if there's anything else that you guys need, feel free to shoot me a message, or
Yeah.
anything from this in writing or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing if you get a chance to record a meeting, man, that would be awesome, bro. I can't thank you enough I know you're busy. Thank you so much for spending the time with us, brother.
Of course.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good one, brother.
See
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Learn anything?